Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and superheroes of the world. Wow, I am back. And when I mean I am back, what I mean is I am back to podcasting. I am back on the horse when it comes to creating powerful video and audio content for people like you. And, let's just say my 30th birthday just rolled through, actually yesterday. And really, as my 30th birthday was coming into into the forefront of my mind, and I started to think about all the different things that I am creating and doing, one of the things that really stood out to me is in my 20s, that the entire length of my 20s, I've wanted to build a studio like this one. Now, this studio isn't complete. I am working on the cable management. I'm working on actually getting some different elements up and running when it comes to running a live podcast and being able to stream that directly to Facebook in a powerful way. And for whatever reason, I'm having trouble with the connection. But for the longest time, I've been fascinated with creating powerful content with as little friction as possible. And I feel like I've always made excuses as to the gear or the setup that I had not being really as good as I wanted it to be. And one of the people I looked up to was Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan is the longest standing podcast that I've been listening to and consuming over the years. Pretty much my entire 20s, I was diving into some of his material. I've been a big fan of comedy. This is something that most people don't know about me. But I've just been super, super, super enthralled with kind of learning and distilling some of the amazing stories and wisdom from other superheroes in the world. And so Superhero Academy actually started as a podcast. It was me just dissecting greatness and wisdom through some of the various people that I might have access to and that I wanted to learn from. And so I wanted kind of an excuse for them to show up and drop some wisdom bombs on me, and for me to be able to learn from some of the masters without necessarily having to afford their consulting fees and stuff. So I created value for people, for superheroes, let's say, that I wanted to speak to by running a show and then publicizing the show and kind of giving them exposure. And this is really the kind of like fifth season of the Superhero Academy podcast. I've kind of hashed this out and kind of gotten it going a few times over the years, but none as professional or as powerful as the current setup that I am in right now. So I decided I wanted to do a quick little solo cast here to kick off season 5 of the podcast, really get it going in another form. I don't want to say its final form. I might switch out and do something crazy again. But if you could see a little bit of the background here of what's going on, I basically bought all the same equipment as Joe Rogan, but I have my own video switching system that I am operating, and it allows me to live switch, literally live control a podcast studio all from my fingertips, whether I do this with the Apple Pencil, and I can quickly switch on the cameras, and I have the powerful mics that I've always wanted to have access to. And so I could do this literally at the tip of my fingers with an iPad and a couple of cell phones, or with some DSLRs if I want to take it to the next level. And that's really exciting. That's really something I've been looking forward to creating and doing for a very long time now. And let's just say I am very, very, very excited to announce that the Storytory, which is the story laboratory that I have now built here in my basement, is in full effect, in full swing. I really feel like I have all the equipment that is necessary. And there's only one other thing that I would love to get on my hands on, which is a Canon a Canon 1DX Mark II, which is a beautiful camera that some of the best YouTubers that I love and admire use for its 1080, 120 frames per second. But I won't geek out on this too much. What I'm trying to say is that I have the equipment. There's no more excuse. Like I kept saying that, like, I need more stuff, or I need the video switching system, or I need this, or I need that, and I need a video editing laptop or whatever, something that just gets me through all of these different pieces. And over the last couple of months, I've been able to get enough of Superhero Academy and enough of the equipment in line so that I can effortlessly, I don't want to say effortlessly, there's still effort, but I can, with as little friction as possible, create a podcast and disseminate this content as powerfully as possible. And I also have the distribution strategies and methods and team in place to really get this out into the world. So this podcast is going to start showing up on more than just Superhero Academy, more than just my own personal brand, but I also see and envision some other partnerships with other channels as I move forward into the future. And I'm very, very, very excited to be working alongside those other channels. I won't spoil it too much, but let's just say that they have millions of followers on Facebook specifically. But really, my goal is to get this up on YouTube as much as possible, and also on Soundcloud and the podcast app and all those different things. So my goal is to go heavy into the video game, very specifically after YouTube. I will also be potentially live streaming this on Twitch and other places over time. But really the game is to go after the YouTube market more so. And I'll also be uploading it on some other channels like Portal and DTube, Decentralized Tube. Portal's a great platform that has no ads as well. So I'm going to be like testing out uploading content on other platforms and finding other audiences as well. But YouTube is definitely the one that I consume the most. In fact, I was looking at my stats earlier today on this phone over here, and as I was going through, it showed that I was watching. Technically, I say watching, carefully because sometimes it's streaming in the background, but that I was spending about 4 hours and 30 minutes a day on average watching YouTube. And I definitely know that I am actually watching at least 2 hours a day of YouTube content, literally watching it. But no doubt about the fact that I'm also streaming music and other things on the background. And I just feel like there's so much value on YouTube. I feel like it really is the platform for education online. And I've just been dreaming of being a content creator and a storyteller on that platform for ever. And I don't think I've ever really taken it as seriously as I wanted to. But now, as I enter into my 30s, this is the thing that I want to do. This is really a daily practice. This is going to be something I do each and every single day. I'm going to be making content and putting it out onto this platform. So I'm so excited about that. I'm really excited to be talking about relevant topics on the platform, things that are happening each and every single day, things that are happening on YouTube and in and around the globe. I want to be putting out content all the time on this platform, and I'm very excited that this is going to allow me the space that I need to be able to do this as quickly and as efficiently and as powerfully as I possibly can. So I've got a backup system here. I've got all the different cameras and gear. I have all the things that I need. All the excuses are out the window, and my life is passing me by in a very, an alarming way. When you first turn 30, I think you definitely, you definitely enter into a space where you start thinking about, am I really doing the things that I want to be doing? Am I really doing what I love? Am I really earning an income in line with the things that I value the most? And, there's no doubt about the fact that my 20s are spent building, acquiring wisdom, doing all the things, putting in the work, learning all the systems and tools and the hacks and the trades of so many different masters. And I feel like I've learned so much and I've studied so much, but now it's a time for me to kind of put it all into place, which I feel like I've done leading up all the way up until yesterday, my 30th birthday. And more importantly, being able to turn on the machine that I've now built in its entirety and reap the rewards that can create. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to continue working. It just means that instead of building, I'm now going to enter into the creation and attraction phase of my career. So I've done a lot to attract an audience to some degree. I've done fairly well at learning all the hacks, but I don't feel like I've truly built 1,000 true fans for myself and Superhero Academy in a powerful way. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people who are following it, but I don't necessarily feel like it's as tight-knit of a community as I want it to be. So with that said, and this is water, by the way, I'm not sipping down vodka in the middle of an afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, but With that said, it feels like now is the time for me to kind of get this out there. Superhero Academy has, now entered into its official subscription service model. So now it's more like Netflix. We are going to be rolling out other courses from other teachers, and as well as other courses that I myself will be putting out in a powerful way. And so I'm very, very, very excited to get this up and running and out the door in a powerful and in an influential way. And I just feel like there is so much more to be done and created here. And I just want to provide more value. I don't want to create a podcast that is just trying to sell something. I really wanted to create something that creates as much value as possible, but also as much comedy and as much laughter as possible. Because I'm recognizing that I value doing something for the sake of doing it for the why simply because side of things, which is the name of my marketing agency that, many people don't know and I don't really go under and promote at this point. But that's really why I started, right? I started because I had kind of found my own freedom. I had found my own passions and my own gifts, and I wanted to enable others to find theirs. And I think I took a very serious approach to doing and creating content, right? I spent so much time teaching and explaining and telling people about the smart things that they can do to empower themselves and all the different stuff. And I think I've done a fairly good job at some of that. I feel like I definitely made a lot of mistakes. But I've recreated and created very potent and powerful content, specifically under the banner of Superhero Academy, but also under the banner of the Valhalla movement, right? And creating our YouTube channel and all the videos and the physical creation of a school and a community in a powerful way. But now it is really time for me to step up and just make people laugh, just make people have fun, make people digest content that is kind of teaching them, but in an edutainment kind of way, in a way that is very valuable and entertaining and interesting, just in another way. I don't know how to explain it, but just in something that is way more impactful and valuable on a day-to-day basis, and isn't so serious all the time. I feel like a lot of my content has just been so serious. It's so heavy and deep sometimes. And I'm not trying to say like I know everything and my content is deep and other people's isn't. What I'm trying to say is, and I've always pushed forward a narrative that is very it's kind of harder to digest, right? It's harder for people to just step into something like that and absorb this kind of information and have to think about all of these very existential elements, whether they have to quit their job to live their dreams, or whether they have to understand that the world is, suffering from a sustainability and a thrivability problem, and that, there's many real man-made problems that are being perpetuated on our planet, and there's tons of injustices and issues in the world. And that's really heavy to absorb. And so instead, I decided to start writing comedy. I take from the likes of shows like Seinfeld, or comedians like Bill Burr or Louis C.K., who I know isn't as popular right now. But there's tons of amazing comedians: Joe Rogan, Chris D'Elia, Tom Segura. There's just a million, pieces of content, jokes, things that I've absorbed over the years that I find massively valuable and powerful in my own life. And so I just feel like it's time to revive the podcast in a powerful way. This is going to be available, like I said, audio, video, all these different things. So wherever you're listening to this, hit the subscribe button. There's going to be some serious knowledge bombs and value being dropped. And it's not just going to be me doing this. This is not all going to be a solo cast. But I actually have already recorded a bunch of podcasts with other guests live here in person in the Storytory, which is a story laboratory, with my friends, with some of the people who surround me, and with some of the people who I look up to in a powerful way. So whether they're on my team or whether they're a good friend or somebody I co-create with in some way, shape, or form, these are the people that have been part of my hero's journey over the years and in a powerful way. So I don't know what the name of the podcast is going to be yet, and I would love some feedback on that. Right now I'm going to run and operate it under the Superhero Academy podcast, and I'm going to keep it going under that banner. But I might switch that out. I might do something a little bit different. And I might go down, the rabbit hole of, well, to be honest, I don't even know. I was thinking of doing something a little cheeky, like, what was it? Is anybody even listening? That was the name of one of the podcasts that I was thinking of, podcast names I was thinking of. I was thinking about the name Freedom Culture, but that's something else that I will be explaining in terms of running a mastermind and an incubator and something on a more global scale with a global tribe. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what I want to call it or what I want to create or do in this. But for now, I'm just going to keep the Superhero Academy podcast title, but I'm open. I'm open to what you guys and gals think we should do here and what value would be really important for you. So, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. I mean, really, seriously, I want you to engage in this. I really want you to understand how much I value the comments and then the suggestions that each and every one of you are putting through as you listen and absorb some of this content, whether it be on YouTube or on the audio side of things. So just understand that I really am paying attention, and I'm really looking to just be as impactful as possible for you. Seriously, you. Like, if you're listening to this, I am, I'm not just doing this for me. I already know what I have to say, right? I already talk to my friends in some ways. And to some degree, this is definitely an excuse for me to talk to them more. It's definitely an excuse to have somebody sit across from me over here and just blab into the mic and have a good time chatting with them. But more importantly, I just want to create the ripple of impact that I know I can have, and that I haven't felt like I've fully lived up to just yet. And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just being really hard on myself. In fact, I know I'm being pretty hard on myself to some degree, but I just like to take this to another level. I'd like to just go somewhere where, most have not gone before, and do something that really just shakes it up a little bit and pushes the needle in a powerful way. So, yeah, I feel called to create. I feel called to make stuff happen. There's a bunch of little podcast episodes. They're not all little. Some of them are like literally 2 hours and 45 minutes long. There is no format. There is no specific questions that I ask each and every single guest. I just free flow based on what I think is relevant and what I think might be valuable and what I think might be funny and entertaining for the people who are listening to this podcast, which means you. I want to provide as much value as possible. I'm excited to get this going. I'm really excited to get as consistent and as frictionless as possible in this. And I'm also going to be doing live classes every Tuesday night for those who are signed up to Superhero Academy. I'm going to be teaching every Tuesday night. You don't see it right here, but I have the chalkboard and another whole studio set up right over there. Like, not studio setup, but a whole setup over there just for the classes that is going to be available and just ready to go at all times. So that's going to be really powerful and engaging and just really, really, really good for me to get going on as well. So everyone who's in that tribe is going to be getting live classes. It means they're going to be flexing my content-making muscles more so now than ever before. And so that means every Monday, every Tuesday, and every Wednesday, I'm going to be having content coming out every day of the week, almost, with memes and videos and clips and full-length stuff and classes and Q&As and just, man, you name it, I'm going to be putting it out there. I'm going to be living up to this in a powerful and influential way. So I am very, very, very excited to dive into this. I am so excited for you to join. And if you love this, please come back. Please hit the subscribe button. Please tell a friend. Tell somebody who you know that might enjoy and love this podcast, because I've gotten this podcast up in the past up to about 100,000 downloads or so, which is pretty amazing. And yeah, wow, thank you for being a part of that journey. It just kind of hit me. It's 100,000 people who have downloaded episodes of this podcast in the past. So hopefully I can get the train rolling as much as possible. My plan is to be as, my plan is really for this content to not sell. And you'll hear how I've had some of these conversations with some of the people who have been on the first couple of episodes of this podcast as I roll them out every Sunday night. So it's available for you every Monday morning on your way to work, or, in the bus or subway, or, just something for you to listen to throughout your week. So that's going to be coming to you every Sunday night. A new episode will be coming out. This one I wanted to come out today, but every other episode will come out on Sundays. So super excited. Let me know if there's anything I can do to support and create, and just know that, if there's anything I've learned in my 30 years and my 11 years as an entrepreneur, but my 30 years on this earth and around the sun, it's that doing what you love is, without a doubt, the most fulfilling and important thing that we can do in this crazy world. And I think I've spent way too much time learning about the things that I love, and not as much time as I would like doing the things that I've wanted to put energy and embody. And so I've gone wide. I've learned the things that I need to learn, and now I feel like I can go deeper and deeper and deeper down this rabbit hole. And I've, maybe from your perspective, done a pretty good job at that, but from mine, I know that I've only scratched the surface. So here's to diving deep with you. Here's to going out into the world and creating something powerful, engaging, and extraordinary for all of us to enjoy together. So thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next episode on Sunday night, which will star our very own Garrett Adkins as the first guest of this season of the podcast. So see you later, superheroes. Cheers.